Hey guys, it's Marty and welcome to Two Line Slot Cars. This week, we're going to do a how-to video. I know, it's been a while since I've done one of those, but I've lived an additional week with the DS-PHN1, and I'm tired of clipping these alligator clips onto my track. So we're going to convert this to an XLR. This is how you do it. So the more places we go to race, the more we find out that you can use alligator clips. The DS controller comes with banana clips. And I had to add the alligator clips because we don't really use banana clips very much unless you're doing audio here in the United States. And we've kind of moved past that. That's really an adapter from like the 70s. Okay. And so what I wanted to do is I'm really getting tired of unclipping these three, and my other controller has an XLR plug, which on this track I have XLR at each driver station, and I'm going to add XLR, possibly tomorrow, to my oval track. And I just haven't found time to do it. But it makes it so much easier. What I'm finding is in the heat of a race, in the intensity of walking up to the driver's station, the number of times I've plugged my controller in wrong or started to, and then recognized that I'm plugging the black onto the red or the white onto the black or any of those three different combinations. It's just so easy to plug an XLR plug in. Boom, snap in. Right every time. So when we were in Michigan at the NSR Eastern Nationals, I had converted our DeFalcos, mine and my brother's, over to XLR. And it saved us so much trouble. There were a few people that plugged their controllers in wrong at the driver stations because they had both. They had the pins that you could clip onto, the posts, and then they had XLR. And I had converted our track over to XLR maybe 6 months ago. And I just hadn't changed our controllers over to it yet. But it's super convenient with XLR. And I noticed that when I was racing at the Nationals and it was time to change, I didn't have to worry about plugging my controller in wrong. Now, this is my week 2 with the PHN1, the DS controller. I'm really starting to settle in with this, guys. I'm starting to get more consistent with my laps. I'm starting to stay in the slot a little better. I'm starting to understand the controls just a touch better, and I'm starting to fine-tune. And I'm finding that I'm really able to fine-tune my cars just a little bit better than I can with my DeFalco. Am I going to change to the DeFalco or change away from the DeFalco? I don't know. Only time will tell. But the more I use this controller, the more I understand this controller, the more I like it. And the trigger feel is still an issue. I still love the sound and the feel of the wiper on the DeFalco, but this brake circuit really is good. Let's make it easy. So when I was at the Nationals, I would go from station to station, just plug in. I could take a deep breath. I could relax. I knew my controller was going to be fine. So that's what we're going to do. This is how to change your controller from alligator clips to an XLR. So let's dig in. Let's go to the other camera so you can watch what happens. I will be soldering on video. Slot R, here you go, buddy. And let's change over to the other camera so you can see what's going on. All right. So here's an adapter that I've made. This is a female XLR. And I'm not going to explain to you why it's called a female. I think by looking at it, you can understand why. And then it has alligator clips. And so with this, if I take this off and I cut this off and I put a male XLR, if I put a male XLR on the end of this, then it's super easy. I just plug the XLR into the track and I'm good. But if I show up to a track that doesn't have XLR and only has posts, well, then I can snap the two together and I have alligator clips plugged into my XLR. So this is the adapter I need to make. The DS controller it comes from Spain, and in Italy, Spain, in Europe, they tend to use banana plugs. And I'll be honest with you, the banana plug is actually great, but you still have an opportunity to plug your controller in wrong. So a lot of them have gone to the standard electrical plug, the European electrical plug, the 3-prong. And that works great. It's just a big, bulky plug, and nobody's really doing that here in the States. In the United States, we're using XLR. Now, XLR is typical for microphone cables, but because it's a 3-wire, it's a very solid connection. You don't lose a lot of power through it. It's really good. And I'm going to sever the controller here. I've got some additional wire I'm going to add to this plug so that the adapter actually has a little bit of room. And then we're going to put an XLR here. I don't have a ton of work with. I want to keep this nice and neat and clean if I can. So we'll see. This is the hard part for most people. It's cutting these wires off. The nice thing is the cables are color-coded. On the DeFalco controller, it was not color-coded. I had to mark what was red, what was black, what was white. So the first step is to cut these off. We're going to save those for the adapter, which will go with that piece of wire. So now we need to expose some of this wire so that we can actually put it on. Oh, very nice. So actually, I can actually give myself a little more cable. I should have looked at that first, because I would have given myself more room to work on the other. So that I can actually dip. Now those ends are ready. And then we'll open up this, and I'll show you the parts to the XLR. This is a Neutrik, which is a high quality. You can get these on Amazon. But I like the Neutrik brand because I know that it's a high quality. You have a boot. You have the internal sheath there. And then you have the main part of the plug, and then the cover of the plug. So what you need to do is you will need to put this on first. All right, kind of want to do the same thing to this. Okay, so you need to understand that how this is wired. So we're wiring a male plug. So here's the male right here. And they're numbered 1, 2, and 3. Black goes to 1, white goes to 2, red goes to 3. And it happens both on the female and the male. Just have to understand that they're flipped. The 1 and 2 are flipped in the plug for those. So I draw it out so that I don't make any mistakes, because I don't want to wire the plug backwards. I want to do the same thing with this. So I want to put a little bit of flux. So as you can see, I've got some flux in there. I've got solder in each of those. Now you just need to make sure you understand the way that's pinned. So the bottom is your red, because that's number 3. And then if you look on the plastic, it tells you what's what. And so if we look closely, if you can Let's see if I can get it to focus. They are labeled 1, 2, and 3. So now the DS controller has an XLR cable. So now let's go to the track, plug it in, and test it to make sure it's going to work. So here we are. Okay, as you can see, we are at the driver's station. XLR just plugs straight into the track. I've got a green light on the controller. It tells me that I've got power to the controller. And the car takes off. So let's run a couple laps. Make sure the controller is working properly. Everything seems to be in order. It's that easy. New controller, XLR. We saw that it worked. Makes it nice and neat and easy. So now what we need to do is build the other side of the adapter. Because it's important, because you are going to get to a track and you're going to need an adapter like this to be able to plug your controller in. And now that pigtail allows for you to use your alligator clips. We're going to build that adapter. Okay, so I ran out of heat shrink, so I'm actually just going to connect these directly and eliminate the banana plugs. I will build a banana plug adapter later after I get some heat shrink. So on one side of this wire, we're going to put the XLR cable, and then on the other side of the wire, we're going to put these, and should be quick work. Okay, there you have it. We have successfully put an XLR cable, or an XLR end, on the new DS PHN1. This is way more convenient, and we've created the dongle that allows us to go back to alligator clips if we ever want to, by just snapping that in. Pretty easy to do, guys. A little bit of soldering, some wire, a couple XLR plugs. Makes this so much more convenient here at the track. So hopefully this helps you out. It's pretty simple. Upgrade to your controller and makes it much more convenient when there are XLR plugs at your track. I would recommend installing them. It just makes life so much easier. Guys, thanks for tuning in this week. Hope you like this content. If you do, hit the subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Hit the bell so you get notified anytime I put out new content. Thanks for jumping on the live stream on Tuesday with Ian Douglas. That was a lot of fun. If you have not seen that, go back. It's a worthwhile conversation. Had a great time with Ian. Ian, thanks for jumping on the live stream. Got some more people coming over the next month or so, so I'm pretty excited about having some more great slot car conversations. Yeah, this is good stuff. Also, got an announcement to make. I'm helping my friends who are putting a team together to go to Italy. We're going to host a raffle, and we're giving away some top-notch slot cars, guys. So more details will come out about that. I'm excited to talk about that team. I won't be going to Italy, but they are, and this raffle is just to kind of help subsidize a little bit of the cost. It's a very expensive trip for 6 people to get over there, and maybe if we can take care of, a couple cars for them to take over, or subsidize a little bit of their airfare. I mean, we're not talking big dollars here, but this will be a way for you to be able to help these guys out, get the Spirit of America team over to Italy, and be a partner with them. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And then we can cheer them on the live stream, which will be kind of fun. So more announcements to come, how you can buy a raffle ticket for these giveaways. And guys, they are donating some crazy collectible cars, maybe a couple race prepped NSRs, which would be great to get your hands on, something tuned by some of the fastest guys here in the Midwest. So really pretty cool. So check that out. Watch for a video for that update coming soon, maybe in the next week or in the next couple days. So hopefully. Guys, thanks. Go have some fun racing.